Football season is right around the corner, and with that comes people on the internet proclaiming that they know how the season will go for each and every single team, and ultimately they will be dead wrong in one way or another. And knowing that, I'm going to attempt to predict every NFL team's record for the 2024 season, beginning with the AFC Conference.
Williams had a block and Brown had a block. The two tackles go and deep. He's got him! Chase at the 20. You can kiss him goodbye. Touchdown Cincinnati. 64 yards.
We'll begin by looking at the AFC South. Finishing in dead last with a record of 2-16, I have the Tennessee Titans. This team, in my opinion, is in desperate need of a full-blown rebuild, and I think they are attempting to do that as silently as possible, aside from firing Mike Vrabel. They don't really have many players that I can think of off the top of my head that can make an impact for them, so I think that this team really is just looking at being irrelevant this season and retooling next year. In third place with 5 wins and 12 losses is the Indianapolis Colts. I know that this may seem low, but considering that they are going to have to play against both the Jags and the Texans twice this season, has me doubtful that this team is going to be anywhere close to the playoffs. Anthony Richardson is also coming off an injury and is only in year 2, so staying healthy is going to be key so that he can get live reps in an NFL game. In the runner-up spot, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars with a 10-7 record. This team showed that Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence can make and win in the playoffs, and I think they want to remind the league about that. While I don't have them winning the division, I do think that they will get a wild card spot and wouldn't surprise me if this team is talked about as a dark horse to make a deep playoff run. With that being said, I have the Houston Texans winning the division with a 12-5 record. This team is clearly built to win now, especially after trading for Stephon Diggs and signing Joe Mixon. They want to capitalize on CJ Stroud being young and cheap and are building a roster that can show off his talent. They also have some really nice defensive players, highlighted by Will Anderson Jr., who they took 1 pick after drafting CJ Stroud. The Texans want to win, and I think this year might be their best shot since 2019. Moving to the AFC East, I have the New England Patriots in the basement with a 2-16 record. This team is clearly cleaning house and trying to figure out a new path forward after moving on from Bill Belichick. They traded Mac Jones to the Jags and just traded Matthew Judon to the Falcons this week. They drafted Drake May, so the future is beginning to take shape, but this rebuild is far from over, and I don't see them getting many wins this year. This next prediction may shock some of you, and others may be expecting it, but I have the Buffalo Bills being third in the division and missing the postseason. They lost many players, most notably wide receiver Stephon Diggs, who they traded to Houston. They lost a ton on defense, and now all hope is going to solely rely on Josh Allen to carry this team. The Bills went all in the last few seasons trying to win a Super Bowl, and now they're going to need to pay for it. I think 2024 they pay in a big way. The New York Jets were a team that many saw last year as one that could surprise many, especially after trading for Aaron Rodgers. Sadly, 4 plays in, all hope was gone when Rodgers tore his Achilles, and they missed the postseason yet again. Many are once again trying to hype this team up as one that could make the postseason, and I am buying into that. Aaron Rodgers, even at age 40, is a major upgrade from Zach Wilson, and I think that if everyone can stay healthy, that the New York Jets could take some wins they may otherwise shouldn't. And I see them finishing the season at 9-8 and taking home a wild card spot and sneaking into the postseason. The Miami Dolphins are easily the team on paper that should win this division, and so long as they don't choke it away like last season, I think that they will win the AFC East with an 11-6 record. This team is explosive on offense, and we saw that on full display last year when they destroyed the Denver Broncos 70-20. My main concern is on the defensive side of the ball. They have some pieces, but ultimately they need to close out games and not put everything on the offense to win games. The AFC West has one of the closer battles at the bottom of the division, and I see it being a tie between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Both teams are kind of missing the same thing, a real QB. Bo Nix is a complete unknown, and the Raiders have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell as their QB 1 and 2, which really doesn't scare a division with Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes in it. These teams are a real coin flip with who finishes ahead of the other, but it won't make a difference with who makes the playoffs. The LA Chargers aren't really under pressure for second in the division, but they also aren't fighting for the win when I have them winning 8 games. Their new coach gives me hope, and if Justin Herbert can come back from his injury without missing a beat, This team has a great foundation for the future. The only thing holding them back is who Justin Herbert is throwing to after many of their wide receivers left for other teams. So with that being said, it's no surprise that I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning another AFC West title with a record of 14-3. This team, no matter who is playing, as long as Patrick Mahomes is throwing the ball, should never be doubted to win the division. After winning back-to-back Super Bowls, plus having a pass catcher like Travis Kelce never hurts either. Our final division is the one that I'm going to be paying extra attention to, not only because my team is playing in this division, but I think this division will be the closest from top to bottom. Sadly, there does need to be one team at the bottom, and that honor goes to the Cleveland Browns. The Browns made a miracle run with Joe Flacco last season after losing Deshaun Watson to injury, although it may have been a blessing in disguise given how Deshaun's been playing since coming back from suspension. I think that the Browns with Watson at QB will finish with a record of 7-10. Some things never get old, and that applies to Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers finishing above 500, as I predict that the Steelers will end the season at 9-8. The Steelers have some solid pieces, but nothing that screams game changer. At the time of writing this, the Steelers are trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk, and if that does happen, I think this could add one more win to their total, which could be the difference between making and missing the playoffs. We also still do not know who will be the true QB1 of this team, so that could change the aura surrounding the team. Many have called the AFC North the best division in football, and I think that it will live up to its name, as I have the division ending in a tie between my Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens, with each team finishing with a 12-5 record. I give the tiebreaker to the Ravens, but I think this could go either way, and will come down to injuries and QB play. Both teams have playmakers on both sides of the ball, and have QBs that will be battling for MVP votes. So looking at all those records, here is who I have making the playoffs from the AFC. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Houston Texans, the Baltimore Ravens, the Miami Dolphins, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the New York Jets. I feel very confident in my predictions, but now I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about my predictions, what you agree with, what you disagree with, and who you think will make the postseason from the AFC down in the comments section below. While you're doing that, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Next week, I'll be uploading my NFC predictions, so I hope you will tune in for that. Until then, I'm Morgan Wiebe. Have a good day, everyone.
Williams had a block and Brown had a block. The two tackles go and deep. He's got him. Chase at the 20. You can kiss him goodbye. Touchdown Cincinnati. 64 yards.